World media spotlight on SEO. Xi promises aid. Putin blames the West. Trump's tariff war and Modi-Xi talks shape global narratives. Peter Navarro's attack on India over Russian oil exposes Washington's anxiety about New Delhi's independent choices. His use of Brahmins shows both cultural ignorance and old colonial biases. Hardeep Singh Puri defends Russian oil buys as rule compliant, says India prevented $200 crude and kept global markets stable. Namaskar, welcome to Heavies. I'm Shashira. You are watching Business Talk. At the recent Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Tianjin, China, three key leaders, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and Russian President Vladimir Putin were seen talking together. The event attracted huge global attention, especially because of Donald Trump's tariff policies that had already unsettled global trade. More than 3,400 journalists covered the meeting, showing its significance. The New York Times reported that Trump imposed 50% tariffs on Indian goods, straying US-India trade ties. For years, India has tried to position itself as an alternative to China in global supply chains, a strategy known as China Plus One. But Trump's tariffs directly hurt India's manufacturing sector and weakened this plan. During this tense moment, Modi met Xi in Beijing, their first meeting in 7 years, suggesting India was cautiously reopening channels with China. Ironically, this makes India's China Plus One strategy even harder without US support. CNN highlighted Xi Jinping's statement that China would help stabilize the global economy. He placed hundreds of millions of dollars in aid and loans to SCO members at a time when Trump was cutting back US foreign aid and pushing trade wars worldwide. Without naming America, Xi criticized bullying policies, a clear jab at Washington. His financial promises aimed to boost China's influence and position the SEO as a counterweight to the West. According to The Guardian and Al Jazeera, Vladimir Putin used the SEO stage to blame the West for the Ukraine war. He argued Russia did not start the 2022 invasion but was forced into it because of NATO expansion and Western interference in Ukraine since 2013-14. He pointed to the US and Europe as the real culprits. At the same time, Putin praised India and China's peace proposals, signaling Moscow's interest in appearing open to negotiation while still blaming the West. Reports from France 24 emphasized that the SEO summit was designed to strengthen ties among countries like India, Russia, China, Pakistan, Iran, and Central Asian nations. This idea is to create an alternative platform to Western alliances. She presented the SEO as a model of true cooperation, urging members to use their vast markets to trade more among themselves. Donald Trump's close trade advisor, Peter Navarro, has once again targeted India, this time in a very controversial way. Navarro accused Indian Brahmins of profiting from cheap Russian oil, blaming that ordinary Indians are paying the real price. His comments have sparked sharp political reactions in India, and they also reveal how the US policy elite often views India through outdated and biased lenses. Navarro's main charge is that India buys discounted oil from Russia, refines it, and then sells it at higher prices in the global market. According to him, this helped Russia fund its war against Ukraine while hurting common Indians through higher tariffs and trade pressure from the US. He even went so far as to call India a washing machine for Russia, suggesting that India launders Russian resources for global circulation. This framing, however, ignores a key fact: every major economy, including European countries, has purchased Russian energy in some from since the war began. India's position is pragmatic, securing cheap energy for its growing economy. Navarro's claim that only Indians are paying the price oversimplifies a far more complex global energy dynamic. Perhaps the most controversial part was Navarro's reference to Brahmins in Western English. The term is sometimes used to describe elites or wealthy people, but in India it has a strong caste and social context. By using the word losing, Navarro not only caused offense but also exposed his ignorance of Indian realities. Indian politicians across parties condemned the remark. Congress leader Pawan Khera called it a baseless statement, while TMC MP Sagarika Ghosh clarified that Navarro was misusing the word Brahmin. Economist Sanjay Sanyal went further, saying such thinking reflects old colonial prejudices, the same mindset that shaped British writers like James Mill, who portrayed India in a distorted way. This is not the first time Navarro has spoken in this manner. Earlier, he had described the Ukraine war as Modi's war, blaming India for fueling Russia's aggression, buying its oil. He also warned that India's closer ties with Russia and China could become a threat to the world. Such language reflects a deeper anxiety in Washington. For decades, US policy thinkers assumed that India would remain aligned with Western priorities, but India's balancing act, keeping ties with the US while also engaging Russia and resisting pressure, frustrates many in America's political circles. Navarro's statement should be seen as part of this broader discomfort. From India's perspective, buying discounted Russian oil is not about supporting Moscow, but about protecting its own citizens from high energy prices. The US itself has a long history of trading with authoritarian regimes when it suited its interests. Navarro's moral outrage seems selective and politically motivated, especially as he prepares for Trump's possible return to power. Navarro's attack is less about India's actual policy and more about America's struggle to accept a multipolar world. By misusing terms like Brahman and exaggerating India's role in the Ukraine war, he risks alienating a key partner. For India, this controversy is another reminder that while US support is valuable, it comes with constant pressure to choose sides. India has responded to repeated accusation that its oil purchases from Russia are helping finance the Ukraine war. Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, written in The Hindu, defended India's position, arguing that the country has followed all international rules, including the G7 imposed price cap. According to him, these purchases not only stayed within global regulations but also helped keep oil markets stable, preventing crude prices from spiking to $200 per barrel. Despite this assurance, the US has targeted India with steep tariffs, 50% in Trump's trade era, while Trump's advisor Peter Navarro has gone further, calling the Ukraine conflict Modi's war. Navarro claims that buys cheap Russian oil, refines it and sells it at higher prices, giving Moscow the fund to continue its invasion. He has even warned that India's closer ties with both Russia and China could destabilize the global order. This rhetoric reflects Washington's unease with India's pragmatic energy strategy, while Europe also continued importing Russian energy in various forms during the war. US criticism has been disproportionately directed at New Delhi. The numbers show how dramatically India's energy trade has shifted. Before the war, Russian oil accounted for just 0.2% of India's import. By May 2023, this jumped to 45%. In January to July 2025, India averaged 1.78 million barrels per day from Russia. In monetary terms, India has been buying over $130 billion worth of Russian oil annually for the past 2 years. In financial year 2020, India sourced only 1.7% of its oil from Russia. By financial year 2025, that share had risen to 35.1%. For India, the issue is not about supporting Russia but about safeguarding its energy security. A fast growing economy cannot afford to rely on volatile global markets. A Russian crude offered offline when prices elsewhere soared. From New Delhi's perspective, its purchases helped stabilize global markets, a public good that critics in Washington tend to overlook. The debate highlights a deeper clash. US policymakers like Navarro view India's energy pragmatism as enabling Russia, while India insists it is simply following rules and protecting its citizens. The truth lies somewhere in between. India has clearly benefited from discounted oil, but it has also prevented a global energy shock. Thanks for watching. Keep watching Habis. Namaskar.